What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinway Basketball Analysis coming to you with another grading video. Before we predict the top 8 teams in the West and the East, we got to grade the best free agency deals. So the San Antonio Spurs had an excellent, amazing, championship caliber offseason. Added in Lamarcus Aldridge. Danny Green takes a huge pay cut. They re-sign Kawhi Leonard. They extend Kawhi Leonard contract to a $90 million contract. That's best for both teams. They got Kawhi Leonard locked up for 5 years guaranteed, and the guy only 23 with loads of potential. And Greg Popovich there to mix and master and make sure everything right and perfect for the organization in the future. And then you add Lamarcus Aldridge for $80 million to go along with Kawhi Leonard for the next 5 years. The future is very bright with the San Antonio Spurs. I gotta give this team an A+ automatically. I usually do at the end of the video, but it's just that good. Danny Green for $11 million a year was a steal. Kawhi Leonard, as we all know, the NBA salary cap is going to go up. They re-signed Kawhi Leonard for a guaranteed 5 years. Well, they could have got him for 3 years, but he ended up signing 5 years to commit to the team. This is going. Everybody said that's an overpay. Why would you give Kawhi Leonard the max? Then he proved that he was a max player. But with the salary cap going up, you might as well give him the max because this contract is going to be a lot cheaper. Because you could have been giving Kawhi Leonard $20 million a year in 2017-18. Instead, you're going to be giving him around 15, 14, 15 million. So you save an extra $5 million a year on Kawhi Leonard and then on Lamarcus Aldridge because he signed a 4-year deal. And when the salary cap go up, then he's going to get more money if he's still an all-star caliber player. But he's so fundamentally gifted and so much talented offensively, most likely he's going to age well offensively and still be a high-quality player because his game is so skill-oriented instead of athletically gifted oriented. So he's more of an offensive skill guy. So we go, and then you re-sign Manu Ginobili for a cheap deal. You keep Tim Duncan, who was an All-NBA and an All-Star last year. Tony Parker gonna come back healthier, but you also get Ray McCollum for a second-round pick, and he's been tearing up the D-League. He tears up when he gets a chance to play. He haven't got that much chances to play because of the Kings so loaded. Then they added Darren Collison. Now they added Rajon Rondo. It's going to be hard to give Ray McCollum playing time. He's an excellent shooter. He's a good finisher. He's a good attacker. He's a good, solid offensive player. And with Greg Popovich to mold him into a more complete player and put him in the right system to match his talent and get the best out of his talent and put him in areas to succeed. This is a good pickup. And instead of paying Corey Joseph $30 million, you can just pay him the rookie contract deal and let him be a good, solid role player and a good shooter off the bench. And Corey Joseph wasn't even getting that much playing time anyway. And on top of that, you don't even need that much from Ray McCollum because you already got the sniper and Patty Mills. If he comes off the bench with Tony Parker, at least you got a sniper already. And it gives him another playmaker. If Tony Parker not healthy, is a perfect fit for him to come in and be another scoring playmaker with Ray McCollum. So that was a steal for that trade. And then Kyle Anderson has been tearing it up in the D-League with his skill, low to the game basketball. He's going to come in. Hopefully he can get at least 10 minutes a game and give Lamarcus Aldridge and Tim Duncan some breather. Boris Diaw going to be here for another season, so that helps him out with the depth, giving him a break and some breathers. And the biggest thing they did was sign David West to a minimum $1.7 million deal. Whew, that's just a good deal. He don't have to do as much. This is a good deal for David West because he don't have to play that many minutes and he don't have to get that much tired. He's at the back end of his career. He was a starter in Indiana, putting up a decline numbers because he had to carry more of the offense. Here he gets a relaxed role, knock down a spot up jumper, play hard defensively, and you don't even have to play that much minutes. It kind of reminds me of the Maurice Spates. He can be the Maurice Spates for the San Antonio Spurs. Come in and knock down a mid-range jumper, knock down the free throws, and space out the floor, and play defend your position and rotate defensively for the team. He don't have to. They're not gonna ask him to play that many minutes. They're not gonna ask him to do that much. They're just gonna ask him to play a role, and he's gonna have a nice long season. And this is gonna prolong his career because he don't have to play as hard right now. He don't have to play as hard. He can have a comfortable role and just have an easy season, and he's gonna be competing for a championship right away this season. And it's just good for Lamarcus Aldridge. If he ever need to get some breaks, if he ever get injured, it's just good to have Boris Diaw and David West as insurance because they're high quality basketball players. If Tim Duncan get injured, you can just throw in David West. You can throw in Boris Diaw to space out the floor, get some playmaking in there. It just add more versatility and insurances to the lineups. And it's going to be hard to guard the San Antonio Spurs team. Well, Lamarcus Aldridge is a good floor spacer, and he can space out the floor to the three-point line and knock down the threes and still finish at the basket. And he's a gifted scorer in the post with also a lot of moves, a lot of finishes, and a lot of fadeaway jump shots and a lot of shot creation. So it's going to be hard to guard the San Antonio Spurs, man. It's going to be hard. This team, most likely with the Golden State Warriors and Oklahoma City Thunder, this team is going to be a top 5 offensive team. It's going to be hard to stop this team, especially if Kawhi Leonard can get going offensively and add more confidence to his game and become more of a takeover player. Once he get that takeover mentality where he believes that nobody can stop him, nobody can guard him, he just attacks anybody in the post, he just goes right at him to finish. And like he do defensively. When Kawhi Leonard is locked in defensively, he just goes right at you and attacks you, strips you. If he can just be more dominant mentally on the offensive end, it's going to be hard to stop Kawhi Leonard. He was putting up almost 20 points a game in the playoffs against the Clippers, but he wasn't doing it that offensively. If he can add more moves offensively, add more repertoire moves in the post, add more finishes, could perfect a floater a little bit more, get a softer touch on the floater, get a little more consistently on the pull-up jumper, Kawhi Leonard could easily average 20 points, 7 rebounds, 1.5 blocks, and 2 steals a game on 50% shooting if he can get higher confidence in his offensive game, which he has showed that he got better year to year. But he need to take a step further offensively, add a little bit more moves, and be a little bit more aggressive. And the same with Lamarcus Aldridge. Be aggressive in this system. Look for your shot, but also make the right plays. And it's going to be hard to guard this team offensively. And they're going to take over the NBA. It's going to be hard to beat the Spurs in a 7-game series. They was 1 point away from beating the Clippers with a banged-up Tony Parker and an inefficient Kawhi Leonard. Just imagine if all these guys come back healthy. They won 55 games last year with a beat-up roster and Kawhi Leonard missing in the first half of the season, and they still won 55 games. This San Antonio Spurs team can easily win 60 games if they can be healthy because they won 55 last year with a banged-up Thiago Splitter and a banged-up Kawhi Leonard with a broken eye, with a messed-up eye and a broken hand, and they still won 55. It's going to be hard to beat the Spurs in a 7-game series, man. And they're on pace. They're going to be on pace to win 60 easily when they're healthy. And Greg Popovich going to make sure of that. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to check out my older videos. If you like this video, like my older videos, subscribe. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.